What's up, you guys? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios. I'm an indie game creator, and I made a game called Pitterpot, which is a 3D platformer, and a game called Perplexing Orb, which is a puzzle platformer, and both of those are available now on the PlayStation 4. I talk about all things game development on this channel, so if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about Annihilation, which is a top-down shooter survival game. It's an arcade game, much like Space Invaders and games of that genre. It's a game I originally released on the Wii U a couple years back, and now it's coming out for the PlayStation 4 with new features, new content, fixes, and more. So let's get started.
Alright, so let's get started here on the title screen. It's not crazy changed or anything. It's mostly the same, but you can see there's the PlayStation symbols now. I redrew all those from scratch to match with the game. As you can see, I'm scrolling through the menu here. There's new animations, subtle animations on how the menu works. You know, stuff like that has changed. The code behind the scenes has all changed on how all that works. You know, but that's not exactly visually crazy. The new tutorial has been changed around a little bit, so you can see the top part shows you what button to press, the middle shows you a representation below of what you're doing, and then the bottom tells you what it is. So it's like move, use the stick, shows the guy moving. Options button opens up the shop. You know, shooting, you press X, you see the guy shooting, and now there's a whole brand new thing in this version of the game where you can now throw grenades. You press R1 to do that, which is pretty cool. I also moved around the buffs over here, so they're all straight up and down, so double damage, double armor, and double speed, all there just to show you how it all works. So let's move on from the title screen to talk about the new changes in the game. Okay, so real quick, we're going to jump right in here. I'm skipping all around from the footage here. This is round 2 now. Basically how this game works is you control Spike, the character at the bottom of the screen, and you can move left to right, and as you can see, you can hop from one side of the screen to the other, which becomes really important soon, like when it gets crazy and there's so many enemies. This is the first stage, which is by far the easiest stage. It gets you accustomed. It slowly introduces enemy types, new enemies slowly, gives you more of them to fight each wave. They come a little faster each wave, then they start mixing it up and adding multiple enemy types, etc., which is what the other stages do. They just do it at a tougher degree. So you can see as you move left and right across the stage, the enemies come down the screen, and then you press the X button to fire, and when you take them out, this is a perfect example right here. Every so often you hit an enemy threshold and a random buff will come down the screen, the double armor, double damage, or the double speed. So this one is double speed, so you can see you can move twice as fast, and which you can fly across the screen and take out enemies. So jumping ahead here, just want to tell you a little bit more about the game and how it works. I want to show you this clip because this shows the new grenade item. And you can see here, this is the first new enemy type, which is like looks the exact same as the original alien enemy creature type, except for these guys they move a little faster, they do more damage to the player, they do more damage to the base, and they take 2 shots to kill, for instance. There's a ton of different enemy types that change up the game. So as you can see, the enemies come down down the screen, and basically how the game works is on the right hand side you have a base health bar. You see all those green bars. If you let any enemies get past you, they'll do a certain amount of damage to your base, and then you can see here I got the double damage, so you can kill them with 1 shot. And when they hit the base, they take out a certain amount of health to the base depending on how tough the enemy is, and then from there, if you lose all the health bars, you lose the game. And if they hit your player, if you're shooting them and you run into them with the player and you're getting overwhelmed, your player also has health, which is noted in the top left, and if you run out of health, you can die that way. I also show off soon, not in this clip, but I show off the laser bullets. So here I throw the grenade. You can see you check the grenade, it spins out, lands, and then it has an area of effect. It took out like 5 guys right there. So in the single player levels, you get 2 grenades. And the reasoning for the grenades, they're brand new for this game. I created them for this version because I started adding new multiplayer maps, and they're some of them are so tough you need some last ditch efforts. So grenades are for like emergency use. You chuck them out there, blow up enemies while you're launching bullets like crazy to try to survive without letting too many enemies hit you or hit the base. So that's a brief look at the grenades. Let's spin on to the next thing. The next cool thing I want to mention about this game is the shop system. So as you can see, this is towards the end of stage 1, and I'm taking out enemies like crazy. They're coming down the screen. There's multiple versions. The horned enemies are coming down. Those guys are fast and furious. But you can see every shot you take and enemies you defeat, you're earning money, and then you can pull up a shop. In this clip, I buy the second pistol, and then I buy some laser ammo. You buy different items. You can buy auto turrets, spike strips, different versions of the turrets, extra pistols, ammo. You have grenades, all different things to help you survive the Annihilation and try to get through without losing any health. The laser ammo is very cool because when it hits an enemy, it splits off and shoots off into different directions. So you can see in this example, I'm about to switch to it. I still have the buff on for double damage, so that shoots off in 2 directions on left and right and shoots behind you, which is just brutal. Okay, so another huge new feature about this game is the multiplayer. I could talk about the multiplayer about this game for just hours. It's really deep. There's a lot of different things going on here. This whole new multiplayer stage select screen you're seeing now is brand new. Wasn't in the original version of the game. There was only one stage originally. Now there's multiple stages. There's 2 stages that are co-op, which you can grab a friend and survive waves together, just like the single player. And now I'm working on something brand new. This is the last thing I got to finish up before submitting to Sony, and it's a versus mode in which you both survive independently, and you send attacks towards each other, and you try your hardest to survive, and whoever survives the longest wins. So we'll take a look real quick at the classes. Another brief thing to mention, multiplayer is completely different than the single player. Instead of having items that you use to buy to help you survive, you choose your class, which changes your regular abilities, and each class comes with a special item, and you can unlock specials for a certain number of kills, and so you can set up your versus and co-op together by choosing a class that fits your playstyle. Thanks so much for watching the video, you guys. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you watched this far, head down to the comments section. It would be greatly appreciated if you just dropped a comment that said, "Yo bro, I survived the Annihilation with you till the very end." That would just be the best in the world for us. I hope you guys are excited for the new features about this game, the grenades, the new multiplayer maps, the new multiplayer modes. If this game definitely has an old school arcade feel. I hope you guys are excited for it. It's hitting the PlayStation 4 very soon. Right before we go, I need to do a big shout out to all of our patrons, and a special shout out to Logan Lintine, Carmen Red, and LV Cato. Thanks so much for your support on Patreon. If you guys are interested in that, there'll be links in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.